Hey guys, today we'll do the unboxing and overview of the Keychron Q1 Pro. So this is a mechanical keyboard. It's actually a 75% mechanical keyboard, which means it's 75% the size of a full-size keyboard. It's made by Keychron, which is a company that makes a whole bunch of different keyboards. Usually they release their keyboards on Kickstarter. People back them. They have a wide range of different mechanical keyboards. They're a company made by keyboard enthusiasts, basically. So they sell like bare bones kits where they don't include any switches or keycaps. You have to buy them separately yourself. You can kind of really customize your keyboard. And they sell fully assembled keyboards like this one. So this one, the Q1 Pro is basically, it can be wireless or wired. And this is, I would say, one of their higher end keyboards. It costs about $200 US, brand new. I got this for $160 secondhand, still in good condition. And yeah, I just wanted to have like another keyboard I can use for both work and office and just regular browsing and typing and stuff. So Keychron being one of the major keyboard companies out there, I want to really check out how good their keyboards are. I mean, they really advertise, and I mean, keyboards are really one of the most over-engineered like peripherals and one of the most over-engineered accessories and products of I would say of the electronic space, because man, like they put a lot of thought into the design of the stuff, right? They put like the gasket design, they put like different like spacers for the space bar and stuff. They put like foam to kind of minimize the noise and everything. So really, mechanical keyboards have gotten to the point where it's like super over-engineered, and there's like a whole bunch of different companies making them, right? All the gaming companies make them, Razer, Asus, SteelSeries, Corsair, like your favorite gaming brand makes them, Logitech, right? For me, I've had like a history of different mechanical keyboards I've used, Cooler Master, Logitech. Right now I'm using a Rocket. Yeah, I just wanted to try out Keychron. They're one of the big names in the keyboard space. So really wanted to check out what they're about. A lot of people seem to like them a lot. So anyways, the Q1 Pro, I mean, they make several different models. You can go to their website, you can take a look. They make a whole bunch, dozens of different models actually, all in different sizes. I think I wanted a 75% because I already have a 100% full-size keyboard, which is my Rocket Vulcan 121. And I also have a 65%, which is my Ducky SF1 too. So yeah, for me, nice 75% would be good. And I also like the fact that you can use it both wired and wireless, so it's nice to have that option, whereas my Logitech MX Mech Mini can only be used wireless. It doesn't have the option to be wired. Anyways, this is a pretty hefty keyboard. I can really tell by the weight. It weighs like around 4 pounds actually. It's not that light. But you can see 75% layout, which I think this is the best layout for most people. For me, like, yeah, full-size keyboard can be nice sometimes because there are times when I do use the numpad, but the numpad is like, seldom used compared to the rest of the keyboard. So for people who want to save space, they have the desk space is more limited, or you want to keep it more minimalist. I think 75% is good enough for most people. Like definitely the minority of people would want to have 100% or 65 or less, right? 75 is kind of the sweet spot for most people, where you don't take up too much space on the desk, but you have enough keys to work with. It's not too cramped. Dual compatibility, works with both Mac and Windows. Open source firmware. You can use it both wireless and wired. That's a big selling point of this one that I like. Yeah, so the thing is, like with my Logitech MX Mech Mini, which is the last keyboard I used, or the last keyboard I bought recently, that one's only wireless, which is kind of a hassle, I would say, when I want to use it with different devices. You can pair up to 3 devices, screw in stabilizer, battery life has 4,000 milliamp hours, 10 light effects, and sound absorbing foam. Like I said, this has been engineered quite a bit for the to minimize the sound, to make the typing experience the best. They have that gasket layout with like different spacers and stuff. Anyways, crazy stuff that Keychron does, and actually these days many companies like that focus on keyboards really over-engineer them. Yeah, let's take a look. All right. Now this is going to be a heavier keyboard than I think any of my other keyboards, because I think this thing is going to be like all aluminum base, I believe. So yeah, so this is a Windows user. Please find the appropriate keycaps on the box. So you can replace keycaps for Windows, right? So this is the Mac layout, and then you can replace them with the Windows stuff. So yep, it's good that it supports both. So yeah, this is instructions here. Connect Bluetooth. You can remap the keys. You got backlight, just the backlight speed. Connect the cable for wired. I'll probably, you know, I'll try it both. The layers, adjust the backlight brightness, warranty, factory reset. Okay. Basic instructions there. Here's the cables it comes with. It comes with USB-A to USB-C. That's pretty normal cable, right? And here we got some extra screws and some extra keycaps. So these are the Windows keycaps, I think, right? Yeah, so we got some, I think it comes by default with the Mac keycaps installed, but you can swap them out for the Windows keycaps. And it comes with a little screwdriver, an Allen key here, and oh, this is to pull out the keys. So this is the keyboard, the keycap plugger, where you or a plucker, I should say. Yeah, it unplugs the keys from the keyboard, so you can exchange them for different keycaps. And you know, people like to customize their keyboards. I'm actually not one of those really big keyboard enthusiasts, but I have some friends who are huge on the mechanical keyboards and they customize all the keycaps and switches and everything. Yeah, for me, I'm not gonna do that, but I appreciate mechanical keyboards, but I'm not gonna play around too much with it. Okay, so this is the manual here, right? Quick start guide, connect, map and backlight. It's pretty much what we saw on that card, right? That quick start guide. And this is a mechanical keyboard specification: 81 keys, 4,000 milliamp hour battery, charge time's around 5 hours. Use USB-C, of course. Default key layout, layout 2 with Windows. So one for Mac, one for Windows, of course. Okay, charging will have indicator lights, Bluetooth wired, toggle switch. Okay. Yeah. By the way, the switches I got for this one are the brown switches, and I generally prefer brown because it's a good midway. It's like tactile, it's not too clicky. Like the blue ones are like a little bit too clicky. Some people find it distracting, but they do have good feedback. And then the red ones or the silver ones or whatever, they're or blacks, they're a little bit like, it's called linear switches, but they don't give me enough feedback. So for me, I like to have the browns because they're good in between. They're not as loud and clicky as the blues, but they also give a tactile feedback that's more than the reds and the blacks. So anyways, I like the browns. That's always my go-to. So here it is, the Keychron Q1 Pro. Yeah, and what I have to say is, oh my god, this thing is sturdy. It's like built like a tank. Yeah, this whole base is like aluminum, so this whole thing weighs like 4 pounds. It's let me just hear that, right? Oh my god, this thing is like, if this thing, like, even if it doesn't work, it's a really good paperweight, because man, it's really heavy. Yep. So yep, comes with the brown switches, which is really nice. Oh man, it's really nice feeling to type on. So yeah, this is a 75% keyboard, and I think this is good enough for most people, right? I would say it's a good size. It's good enough where you have most of the keys you need, and most people don't need or don't miss a numpad at all. So or the insert, print screen, whatever, those other buttons. Yeah, most people don't really use them that much. So I think 75% is a good form factor for most people. And yeah, these switches are all really, really nice. So top row, you have the contrast buttons, and this is a Mac specific thing, right? When you see all your windows, and this is also a Mac specific thing. You can always swap these out and remap them for Windows, but this one you can see all your apps, I guess. And this one is the keyboard backlighting. This is for your media controls, play, pause, next, previous. This is your volume controls, buttons, delete, and this is a knob that's custom mappable to anything. So you can custom map this to anything, but I usually prefer this for volume. So I would prefer this to like volume up, volume down, and press down to mute. And you can press it down, that's another functionality. So I prefer mute, unmute, and volume up and down. That's what I'll be using it for. But you can always remap it to anything, right? Some people, like, you want to map it to like, maybe the brightness settings, or maybe they map it to adjusting, scrubbing forward and back on an editor or something. I prefer volume. You have page up, page down, and home right here. So you have a little bit of the keys that were on this side that's missing. But yeah, overall, man, this is really well built. Just can't emphasize enough that this thing is built like a freaking tank. Wow. It's just like metal aluminum right here on the base. Damn, really nice. And the typing experience, so the keycaps here are like a little bit curved. If you guys can see, it's a little bit curved right here, so it's a little bit different than your typical keyboard, I would say, where it's like the keycaps are just a different shape on this one, which makes it feel almost like a very old school 80s keyboard. Like, you guys remember like the Commodore 64 keyboard? I mean, which is basically the computer, and those really old school keyboards like the IBM Model M's and stuff like that. This really feels like it could have come out of the 80s, right? But that's in a good way, right? Those 80s keyboards, actually, like the keys are really nice and big and tactile, give you a lot of feedback. So in a good way, I would say this reminds me of those really old school 80s style keyboards where, yeah, the keys are big and give you really nice feedback. It just looks like a really retro keyboard, even though it is modern because it can be wireless and stuff. So yeah, I mean, just from the appearance, it looks like a really old school keyboard. But then when you go to the front here, you can see some of the stuff that makes it a little bit more modern. Of course, you can cable that's wired. You can change it to Bluetooth, right, for the wireless. And you can change from Windows or Mac. You can switch that. And then, of course, there's a USB-C connector right there. So yeah, it's like an old school looking keyboard that also has modern functionality, which is really nice. I mean, the fact of the matter is I'm talking about it in a good way, right? It's built like a tank. The keys and everything look very durable and everything with the keycaps. I think these are double shot keycaps, right? They'll last for a long time. And the technology that they advertise with the gasket design and spacers and sound dampening and everything, it's really over-engineered in a good way, where you can just use this keyboard, I would say, for years and years and years. It just looks like it will last a very long time. And of course, everything's replaceable too, right? Say a keycap or a switch, you know, doesn't work or gets damaged or something, you can always easily replace it, because this entire thing is meant to be built by yourself. So this is a already built version, but of course Keychron also sells the like unassembled kits where you can just assemble it yourself. So even if a switch, keycap, or anything, like say it doesn't work anymore, you can always replace it. So I just see this as something that will last a very long time. So it's a good investment. It's expensive, 200 bucks, but I would say it's a very good investment if you plan to use the keyboard for a very long time. This thing looks like it will survive pretty much anything. I mean, the whole base and everything just so solid. It's like aluminum steel base here, or metal base, I should say. Yeah, like aluminum metal base, and all the keycaps and switches, they look very high quality, and even if they do get damaged, you can always replace them. So yeah, it's just looks like it will last a very, very long time. So anyways, very satisfied with this keyboard, at least in terms of the feel and everything. So anyways, that's a bit of the overview of the Keychron Q1 Pro. And if you, yeah, this is the brown switches. Not too loud, but definitely enough feedback for me. So brown switches are a good, that's a good switch for me. I want something that gives me enough feedback when I'm typing, but also not too loud or clicky like the blue ones are. So anyways, that's how it sounds like. This is with the sound dampening too. It's a good sound, I think. It's asthma, keyboard asthma. Anyways, yeah, keyboard, the Keychron Q1 Pro, really, really nice keyboard. I would say, like, even for the price they're offering, it's not a bad deal given the build quality of everything. And there's a lot of models too. You guys can just look on their website. There's tons of new models. They're always coming out with new models on Kickstarter. I think they're coming out with one right now, and with one with like a wood panel finish or something, which looks really cool too. So yeah, just go check them out. They have a ton of different models. I'm sure they have a model for everyone. And you can switch between Windows and Mac. You can have wired or wireless. I really like the options that you can get with this thing. And even if you don't like the switches, you can replace those. You can replace the keycaps if you don't like them. It's just really, really customizable. So yeah, I highly recommend the Keychron Q1 Pro. For those of you guys who are looking for a very nice, solidly built keyboard that will last a long time and is very customizable, right? You can just switch out the switches if you don't like them, or just choose a different set of switches. You can always swap out the keycaps if you don't like it. You can use Windows or Mac. You can use wired or wireless. It's all your choice, and Really, they did a good job of this. You can even remap the keys to everything. You can remap the knob to everything, to anything. It's all very, very customizable. So overall, really like this keyboard so far. And just for a point of comparison, like I said, the previous keyboard I bought was the Logitech MX Mech Mini, which is also a 75% keyboard. And by comparison, I mean, this one also has these quiet tactile switches, I think. You guys can hear that. Quiet tactile switches. And don't get me wrong, the MX Mech Mini is also a really nice keyboard. It's of course much lighter. It's because like the base is it's plastic. It doesn't use the aluminum metal base that the Keychron uses. So it's very light, very portable. So I might still keep the Mech Mini, just for the portability reasons. Like it's easy just to fit it inside a backpack, go travel somewhere and use it. But yeah, the keys are not bad on the Mech Mini. But of course, it's not really the same feedback as I get on the Keychron. This is just another level. So yeah, after typing on the Mech Mini, it's like, yeah, this is okay. But yeah, would I take it over the Keychron? No, of course, the Keychron is a lot better. I like the switches and the feedback and the build quality of the Keychron a lot more. This is actually, well, not quite as expensive, but this is still expensive. This is like over $150 or something, right? So this is still quite expensive. But this is really meant for portability, and you can't even use it wired, even though it has a USB-C right here. This is just meant for charging. You cannot use it wired. You can only use it wireless, which is kind of annoying. Another thing is you can't really replace the keycaps on this. I mean, you can, but it's like only from Logitech. You can't really customize it in the same way that you can the Keychron. So it doesn't have the same degree of customizability. So yeah, this is just meant for a different purpose. Like for people who just want like a small keyboard that's really light, good for traveling, portability, and still minimalist, right? Minimalist looking, and they're not crazy about the feedback and the response, because this is good enough for most people just typing on this. Then the Logitech MX Mech Mini is good enough for most people. But if you want to go a step further and be like, I want something that's much better built, I want more customizability, I want more durable, better feedback from the keys, then the Keychron is the way to go. The Q1 Pro, oh my god. Just typing on this, it's okay, but this is the stuff, man. This is the stuff. I could type on this for hours just to listen to the feedback of these keys. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, I'm really enjoying myself typing on the Keychron. Yeah, just a night and day difference for me. Like, yeah, the MX Mini is good enough for most people, but if you really want to enjoy typing, yeah, the Keychron is the way to go, man. And it's a lot more durable. This thing's like built like a rock. Oh my god. So good. And it can be used wired, and it's customizable, everything. So anyways, yeah, depends on what you want, right? Of course, it's not as portable or light as the MX Mech Mini is. So anyways, the Keychron Q1 Pro, I really like it. This is probably going to be my main work keyboard from now on, and just main like typing keyboard, I would say. So it's not like I could use it for gaming, but I do have a dedicated gaming keyboard, so probably not for gaming. But for everything else, I would probably use it just for typing or work. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Yeah, would you get a Keychron keyboard? Do you have a Keychron keyboard? Let me know your experiences with it. And for those of you guys who are curious how this compares to a 65% keyboard, so here is my Ducky SF12. The SF stands for 65, actually. So this is a 65 keyboard. This is a wired only keyboard, by the way. And yeah, this one I've had since 2022. So this one I had for a couple of years now. I replaced my older Cooler Master SK622, I think. But yeah, this is what a 65% keyboard looks like. You guys compare, right? 75% keyboard and a 65% keyboard. This one has more clicky switches. These are blue switches, so you guys can hear the clickiness, right? Very clicky, whereas these ones are browns. So very just tactile, but not clicky. So that's the difference. Blues, very clicky and tactile. Browns, tactile but not clicky. Yeah. So the main difference with 65% keyboards is that they don't have this top row. So on a 75% keyboard, you still got that top row, right? You got all the F keys right here. So you got that 6 rows of keys. With the 65%, you only get 5 rows of keys. So this might be a little bit too compact for some people. So that's the thing, right? For 65, a little bit too compact maybe, where it's to the point where you're missing maybe too many keys. For me, I would use this keyboard like just as kind of like a backup keyboard whenever I do need to like use it. It's mainly for connecting to you know, a desktop for testing something. Or just for connecting to anything. I think just for a quick test. I think I use this to connect to my gaming handhelds a lot too. Just for somewhere where I need to like type something really quick. I wouldn't use this for like a long period of time because again, it's a little bit too compact where it's missing a lot of keys. Like you see all the FN keys are double mapped on the number keyboard, which actually triple mapped because the top row is already double mapped with the typical symbols and stuff, but then it's triple mapped to the function keys as well. So it's a little bit too much compromise there. For people who want really compact, the 65% form factor is good, but a little bit too compact for a long period of typing. Just for a short period of time, just for typing something really quick, it's fine. But yeah, for like an everyday typing work thing, then 75% is better. You get that extra row of keys right here for the function buttons, which is really nice. But hey, yeah, that's if you guys were curious how a 75% compares with a 65%. There you go. And they're both black and blue. Yeah, it's a nice color combination, I think. So anyways, it's my Ducky SF12, which is a 65% keyboard, compared with the Keychron Q1 Pro. And of course, the Q1 Pro is also wireless as well. The Ducky is not.